Alrighty, we're just gonna go ahead and start it. Um, how's everyone doing? Welcome to the podcast. Let me fix the levels here 1 second, just a little bit, so I can talk a little clearly here. Oh gosh, what a crazy time it's been since the election. I guess not necessarily in the world. It's been kind of the same in the world, but I mean honestly, what a crazy 24 hours it's been. I'm still on edge. My apartment almost caught, almost burnt down pretty much. Yesterday, where I'm sitting right now, was covered completely in smoke. And yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. So I'll go over the story in a second. Let's see here. All right. Basically, what happened, all right, so I'm making some rice. I made some arroz con salchichas, the classic rice and Vienna sausages. It's like a yellow rice with the little sausages in it. Anyway, I'm making that. That's done. And I'm like, you know what? You know what would be fire with some of this rice here? Some plantain. So I get some oil. I actually already had a pan of oil. That's how Puerto Rican I am. You have a pan of oil on the stove for a couple weeks. That's good for those set of weeks. And I turn on the stove, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and grill this steak outside while this heats up or whatever. I go outside and pretty simple story. I pretty much forgot about the fucking oil, like a moron, like an absolute moron. And so I'm outside. I'm editing a video. I'm waiting for this steak to finish. Bailey's on the way home. I'm like, you know what? This is, I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, you know what? This is chill. This is easy. Doing what I'm doing. Totally forgot about the fucking oil. And so I'm outside. I'm like looking up how to edit something specifically on Premiere. I'm like, you know what? Let me look this up. I'm like so in depth. I'm over here like Spielberg trying to figure this program out. And fucking all of a sudden I hear this beeping. The fucking smoke alarm beeping. And it's a smoke detector. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I come inside. The moment I open this door, this bitch was hotboxed the hell up with smoke. Like, it was literally like I could barely fucking see. It was that bad. And that right as that happens, my fucking heart, falls into my stomach or whatever the phrase is. Like, I almost die. I look at this and I'm like, holy shit. So I run to the kitchen. It's kind of weird to run. It's like 5 steps from the door. I take 2 steps to the kitchen really quickly. And I grab the oil. The oil's not on fire. It's smoking really bad. And I grab this damn pan with the oil in it that's smoking. It's smoking profusely, like insane. Like it's almost like it looks like a vape is coming out of my, it's smoke. It's like, but it's super thick. And I take it off the stove, and the moment I take it off the stove, it just combusts into flames, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a fire. Like, this isn't like, oh, totally forgot about the hot pan, da da da. No, theirs is a fire, and the whole pot is on fire. And immediately I'm like, holy shit. Like, what I do right now can either destroy everything or be a simple inconvenience. And so I take this shit and I run outside because I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to put this out, I'm not putting it out here. And I learned later that you're supposed to smother that. Thank God I knew not to throw water on it. The number of people out there listening, the two of you, whoever the fuck ever has a fire in the kitchen, do not throw water on it. Like, that's going to blow up and you're going to burn your house down 100%. So I grab this thing, I take it outside, and I put it right outside the front door, right outside the apartment door. And, at the same time, the smoke in here is insane. Like, I can barely breathe. I'm coughing, and I come inside running. I'm looking for the fire extinguisher. Let me just extinguish this thing. Like, let me go ahead and just put this shit out, whatever. And for a moment, I forget where the damn extinguisher is. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you have seconds before this thing gets way out of hand. Like, it's right outside. And so I run to the kitchen. I look under the sink, nothing there. I look in the pantry, nothing there. I go into the closet, the laundry room closet, and I can't see it. Like, there's so much shit in there that I can't see the damn fire extinguisher. So I climb up on top of the laundry machine, the washing machine, and then I see it right up top, like in the very back corner of the laundry room. And I'm like, holy shit, I need to grab this. I grab it, I run outside, and I, like a moron, I try to just squeeze it and nothing comes out. And the fire's getting bigger and bigger this whole time. And this second time that I come out, Bailey is right out, like she had just gotten home and she's downstairs just looking up like, what's going on? Like, she looks, I don't know, to me she looked kind of pissed off. But I just didn't know what the hell was going on. And I grab the fire extinguisher, I come out, she's out there like, what's going on? And I take the pin out of the fire extinguisher. That still doesn't go, and then I need to rip off like this zip tie that's around it. I rip that off, I take the pin out, and then I squeeze it, and the classic happens, and the fire goes out. So the fire's out, but at the same time that the fire extinguisher goes off, it forces all the oil, like the pressure of the fire extinguisher was so high that it splashed oil everywhere, and I burned the fuck out of my left foot. So my left foot's covered in like blisters right now. They don't hurt too bad anymore, thank God, but last night they were killing me. And what else fucking happened? So the second that I extinguished it, I burned my leg, my foot, and also like a cloud of smoke just fucking comes up at me. Like, I literally can't see for like 5-10 seconds. And I'm like, I breathe it in too, because I'm just like in a panicky mode, like just like, and like it literally felt like I took the biggest like just rip or something. Like, it was terrible. And I'm coughing. I'm looking for Storm. Storm's outside on the porch just like waiting, and I'm like, you need to get out of here because this smoke is gonna make you pass out. So I'm like, I do that. I made sure the stove was off. I turned off the grill because also the grill was still on, so the steak was still cooking throughout this whole damn thing. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? It was absolutely insane. I cannot believe that happened. I'm still kind of like, I'm not like shaky or anything, but I'm still kind of anxious. Like I slept kind of weird last night because that was such an adrenaline rush. But yeah, and so I open the door, the front door, I leave that open. I pry it open with or I hold it open with the fire extinguisher. I leave the porch door open. I go to the bedroom and open those windows. And I kid you not, it took like an hour for all the smoke to get out of the house. And it was so bad. Like, it still smells like fire in here. Like, it smells like there was a fire in here, because there was. It's so bad. And I vacuumed up. I've been spraying Febreze every few hours or so, but it's like almost embedded into shit at this point. So it's gonna take a little bit of time for the smell to go away. But it was so bad. It was so scary. That could have been way worse than it was, And this whole time, Bailey's asking me questions that I don't have the answers to. Like, she's over here like, well, why did you go outside? And it's like, well, because I had to cook the steak. And she's like, well, why didn't you go back inside and check on the oil? It's like, that's like asking, like, what do you mean? Because I forgot. Because I was totally distracted out there. Like, there's no, there's you can only explain as far as to where you can say I fucked up. There's no other like, there's no other reasoning behind shit other than I fucked up. So that fucking happened. Almost burnt down the damn house, but I also saved it, so kind of evens itself out, right? Oh God. What else? Jesus. Just telling the story gets me back into that like angsty mood where I'm like I'm like looking around, like making sure everything's okay right now. And in the window, we went to the front yard, and the window was like, because I cracked open the window in the front, it was letting out smoke like nonstop. Like it looked like the fire was still going. Like if you were passing by, you would be like, "There's a fire in there," even though it everything had been put out. The house was just completely sealed and full of smoke. It was terrible. But yeah, what else is going on? I quit my job, so that's a good thing. I'm sure some of you already know I hated my past job. Now that I don't work there, I can say what it was. I was working at Carvana. They're a fucking car delivery service. They sell cars online through an app, and they have like these vending machines, and everyone's too fucking lazy to show up to the vending machine, so most of their business is delivering cars. But yeah, I got the fuck out of there. Just wasn't for me. The people there were great. At least the people I interacted with. Higher up people. They didn't really interact too much. They weren't really there, but other than that, everything was good over there. It's just really the job itself, and the scheduling was a big pain in the ass as well. You didn't really know what you were working till the day before. And I got the fuck out of there. I just got me another sales job. Set schedule, Monday through Friday. Pretty simple. Yeah, I'm not going to have 3 days off, but I mean, with this past job, having 3 days off felt a lot like having, 2 days off, just because that first day you're recovering from what the hell just happened to you the last 4 days, working 12-hour shifts every day or something. But yeah, I got the hell out of there, thank God. I didn't tell any of them about the podcast until literally the hour before I left. They did fuck me over on my last shift, though, I will say. So basically, what happened was I was originally scheduled like 7 a.m. to 2, and that was like the original schedule. And it's like, yeah, that's a regular shift. Like, I can do that. That's actually a short shift. I'm totally cool with that. And then after that, they changed it like maybe the day before, actually. So the day before, the last shift was on Sunday. On Saturday, I see it, and it says 7 to 3. And I'm like, oh, they changed it. Whatever. It's an hour. That makes it a full shift. I'm cool with that. It's my last day. Who gives a fuck? I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Let me move Storm 1 second. She's sleeping right here. All right, I'm back. So it's my last day. They changed it to 7 to 3, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'll tough it out. There's nothing to tough out. It's a regular shift, whatever. So that's the kind of thing that happens. So let's say you made plans for 3:30, probably not going to happen. So you got to account for that with this job. Then I wake up, and they changed my shift again, and they changed it to 7 to 5. And now it's like it's a 10-hour shift. And it's like, holy shit. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this isn't. So there's a big difference between 7 to 5 and 7 to 2, which was what I was originally thinking of working. And it's like, what the. Like, you're literally just giving me shit. Like, I felt like they did that because I was leaving. Because no one else's shift was changed. And, so that happened. They also gave me like way more events than usual on that day. Like, I don't know, nothing to really bitch about, but it was fucking weird. And so that happens, but then they fill up my schedule with these deliveries that are definitely going to take 7 to 5, you know? So like my schedule is fully booked. There's no way I'm getting out earlier if I finish these deliveries early because there's no wiggle room here. It's a set schedule, whatever. I'll have to be there 7 to 5. There's no other thing to do. Then they assign me paperwork, and the number of paperwork packets they give me is way more than anyone else that was there that day. And also, they assigned to me shit that it's like, there's no way I would have gotten out at 5 had you given me any of these paperwork, you know, assignments to give, you know? And it's like, yeah, you weren't planning on me getting out at 5 either. I got out that day pretty much at 8 o'clock. I worked 13 hours on my last day. So it went from a 7 to 2 o'clock shift to a 7 to 8 o'clock shift. Those motherfuckers tried the hell out of my ass that day. It's like, you know what? I'll give you this one. I'll give you this last day of hard work, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I got the hell out of there. I'm not working there no more. I'm going to start my new spot pretty soon. Actually, this upcoming week. And yeah, they were pretty much like, oh, so your new job's starting you early? Because I gave my 2 weeks, but I was like, you know what? Fuck them. I'm not even going to work this last week. I don't give a shit. I'm out of here. And yeah, so I really only worked one last week, and that's probably why they fucked me over on my last day. And it's like, you know what? That's a fair trade. Give me hell on my last day. You can go fuck yourself for the rest of the week. But it sounds like I'm angry at them, but you know, I'm over it at this point. I'm so happy to get out of there. I'm happy I'm gonna have a regular schedule. I'm gonna have weekends off. I'm gonna know when I'm gonna work every day. Fuck them. Fuck them. Now, as to their delivery practices, here's one thing. You know what? I'll go ahead and give you guys a review from the inside. We're going to do a review from the inside of the business. So basically, a lot of the time their cars aren't, so they detail their cars and, you know, let's call it 70% of the time their cars are on point, everything's looking good, and you get your delivery relatively on time. That other 30% is a shit show. The number of cars I've delivered where I have zero confidence in the customer being satisfied in it is like that entire 30%. Like honestly, like maybe even 60, or I'm sorry, 40%. So let's call it 60% of the time the cars are on point. And that other 30 to 40%, you're just like, are we really giving this customer this fucking car right now? And like I've seen cars get, you know, get returned because like this actually one of my last days, this guy, he purchased a BMW, like a 2009 BMW, and it's like, yeah, it's old, but I mean, for a Beamer, you know, you expect it to be, you know, if you're selling it for top dollar, should be in top dollar quality. And this dude, he wanted to exchange his car for a newer BMW, and it's like, okay, you weren't happy with that first delivery. Sorry about that. We'll go ahead and give you this other car. So first off, with this first car, absolutely fucked up. He took it to BMW, and not even suggested. They were like, yeah, this thing needs about $8,000 in repairs, and I don't know if you should do that. You should probably get your fucking money back for this car. And so, you know, he traded it in and returned it, and we gave him a different car. That other car that we gave him was also fucking filthy when I gave it to him. And it's not the kind of filth that you notice right up first. Because when I get to loading the car onto the trucks and delivering them, I'd look at them on top. I'm like, you know what, this looks fine. Whatever, we're good. Let's go ahead and take this. But part of that's also the job's fault because they don't give us enough time to really inspect vehicles in a timely manner, like to really take your time with a car and make sure it's good. And let's say the car wasn't good. I would then be late to the delivery because I'd have to make sure it was. So a lot of time, you just look at that bitch, and if it looks all right, then you take it. And that's just the truth of it. It's sad, but it's the fucking truth. And you load that car, you take it over, and when I took it, I unloaded it, and he takes it for like a 20-minute test drive. I'm like, damn, fucker, like, you got 7 days with this bitch, like, and you can return it. Like, you got a 7-day test drive. You want to take a 20-minute test drive and take time out of my fucking day now? And he comes back and he's got nothing but complaints about the car. The fucking steering is off. Like, you would point the steering wheel straight and the car would like shift in a certain way. Also, when you turn the steering wheel, it would stay stuck on that direction. Like, normally when you steer, once you follow through with the turn, it'll kind of bring back the steering wheel. It wasn't doing that, which probably sounds like it's way worse conditionally than it looks. The car was also late, and not late like my delivery time late. I actually arrived early, but it was very much like he was waiting an extra week to get that car. And so it was just a whole shit show. And the reason it was late was because it had a check engine light. First of all, the moment they tell me this car has a check engine light, you think I'm putting money down and actually buying this thing? This guy's first of all, he's a moron for buying a BMW. And then 2, he's a moron for buying an older BMW. And 3, he's a moron for buying a BMW with a check engine light and that he knew about. But yeah, so there's that. And we get there. He takes it on the test drive. He tells me about the steering. He looks around, and the engine looks like the engine bay itself. He opens it up, and it's filthy. It looks like someone drove through the fucking desert in this thing. And like the back seat leather is like falling apart, like it's coming off the seat. It's not like peeling, but like the seat cover that's covering the entire piece of furniture that's in the back, that whole bench is like peeling off and coming off the plastic, and it's just embarrassing. And I'm like, look, man, I don't get these cars ready. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a delivery guy. Even if you don't want this damn thing, I totally get it. I'll load it back up and I'll get the fuck out of here. And it took like a whole hour just to get a hold of like the corporate office to figure out how we're going to compensate this dude, and just a total shit show. And I don't know, it's all because of their system. They just don't know how to run shit over there. And there's not enough oversight over everything. They just kind of, like, there's days where I don't talk to anyone. I show up and I just do the job, and I don't talk to any coworker, and I just leave. And it's very much like no one's really held accountable for things there. So there's that. Jesus, got allergies. 1 second here. So yeah, so I'm back. I just went ahead and quit the job, got the hell out of there. Just wasn't for me. And another thing that I noticed over there is just like the people that were sticking around there actually enjoyed it. And it's like, you know what? Who am I to judge as to like what you like to fucking do and who you like to do it for? But it just wasn't for me. I definitely felt like they just don't take care of the people over there, and they don't know how to run a business over there. It's pretty just all over the place, very unorganized. But anyway, enough about that. It's Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? What are you thankful for, huh? I'm going to take this time to say what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for everything and everyone in my life. Oh, I will say I'm thankful I didn't fucking burn the place down. I'm thankful for that, I'll tell you. You know how fucking angry? I'm pretty sure I'd be single if I burnt the place down, to be honest. I think that would be like, I think that would draw the line. Where it's just like, you burnt our house down. Like, I'm not going to stay with you. You burnt the fucking place down. It was an accident. I don't give a fuck. I don't have clothes. Where the fuck are our clothes? Jesus. Terrifying. How are you going to celebrate Thanksgiving, huh? Do you work? Is that what you're doing? You working? Are you going to go home to your parents? Are you going to go home to your parents? I'm going home. Bailey's working today. And we had a Friendsgiving. So we're just going to, you know, she wanted to spend time with her family. I'm spending time with my family. And we're going to come back, get fucked up at our friend's house here. But we'll probably have some footage of that, to be honest. But yeah, just take some time, you know. She'll spend a few hours over there. I'll spend a few hours, do a little karaoke. Try not to offend anyone at my house. And just get the hell out of there and you know, do our thing over here. I'm excited for the karaoke. My parents got a karaoke machine. That's like the parent move. It's like, oh, honey, you're coming over for Thanksgiving, right? We got a karaoke machine. It's like, Jesus Christ. No one wants to hear me sing. I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna sing. I'm so I'm like low-key nervous for that. I'm gonna get there, and then I'm gonna actually try. Imagine actually trying in front of your family. That's like one of the cringiest things ever, is actually trying in front of your family. Now, let's say you're at a sports game or something and you're on the team and it's like, oh yeah, you gotta try. Or, you know, if you're doing like an actual recital, or, you know, if you're performing in front of a crowd and your family is there, 100% go for it. But the moment you're in the fucking living room and your fucking brother brings out a guitar and starts singing a song to the family, that's when I just dip. I cannot fucking do that. That's ridiculous. I just get this weird, uncomfortable feeling. I don't know. There might be something wrong with me. But like I don't know. I get that feeling so often. Like just when anyone tries anything. Like people who try. What are you doing? You know it's over. This shit ain't going anywhere. You really think you're going to get on the stage with a guitar? Fine, do it on a stage, but keep that shit out of the living room. I'm very much opposite, like, you know, like where, you know, the people are like, oh, it doesn't matter what you do behind closed doors. And it's like, you know what? If you're performing, do not do it in front of your family. Like that, performing in a small circle of people you're regularly around, that just kills me. I remember one time, my senior year in high school, in my math class. Oh my God, I'm cringing right now. Just thinking about it. In my math class, I don't know why they did this in math class anyway, but my senior year, I took this, like, it's called Math for College Readiness, because they want to make sure you're not a moron before you get the hell out there and actually pay for your education. And you know, so we're in there, and there's like, I think there's like a talent show coming up, or something's coming up. I think it is a talent show, and this one little black girl that's in our class, like, she's tiny. She's like, I forgot her name. Anyway, Allie over here is gonna sing at the talent show, and we just want to wish you good luck. And the whole class is like, good luck, yeah. And then, of course, that one motherfucker in the classroom goes, sing us a song. I'm like, oh no, please say no. I was like, the moment And like just like nice shit like that, when people are supporting each other in a classroom like that shit just kills me. And he goes, sing us a song. It sounded so annoying. And I'm like, no, don't do this to yourself. But more importantly, don't do this to me. And so he tells her to sing a song, and she's up there. She's a little nervous herself, but then I see her take a little moment of, like, of pride, where she goes like, no, like you could tell she was almost like, I can't do this, and she's like, her cheeks are getting red, and the whole classroom's like, come on, yeah, you can do it, yeah, and the teacher's like, you don't have to, but if you want to, and I'm like, no, you really shouldn't. I'm the one person in the classroom like, why the fuck are we all on board for this? Like, I'm so scared right now for myself, because I just don't want to visibly be uncomfortable, and I can get uncomfortable, like, often, like cringy uncomfortable, but that is the pinnacle of uncomfort, is people performing in front of people that they know, and like in a close environment, like just like shit like that. And so she starts singing, and this fucking bitch starts singing, what is the name? I think that's the name of it, is I Will Always Love You by, hold on, I'm a moron. Everyone's fucking yelling at me now. And I will always love you. Okay, I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. That's, let's see. Yep, that's the one. So she starts singing that. And I will say, she sounded good, but for being in a classroom, the acoustics were definitely off. You can't really have, good sound quality when your voice is bouncing off a fucking smartboard. But so she's over here, like, she's walking up, she's getting nervous, everyone's kind of hyping her, the teacher's low-key hyping, but also kind of being like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but just come up here, we just want to say, that we're proud of you and that you're gonna do great at the talent show. And she goes, you see her take like this little breath of like, I can do this. She's like, oh, okay, I shouldn't do this, but and she does like that, and everyone's like, oh my god, she's gonna do it. And she just starts fucking singing. And the moment, like, it was kind of loud up until the moment she started singing, because everyone's like, come on, and she comes up and she's like, okay, and the moment she goes, it fucking dead silent, like absolute silence in the classroom. And I'm like, oh no, this shit is about to go down. She is really about to kill me in front of all these people. And she starts singing, and it sounds good. It's definitely not like, you're not like blown away or anything, but everyone's gonna get blown away because it sounded decent, and the moment you sound decent, people are actually like, oh wow. And she like sings it, and it's so loud, and her eyes are closed and her hands are up, and it's like, it was like a America's Got Talent type of moment, fucking Simon's in the corner crying and shit. And I'm in like the middle back part of this classroom, like literally burying myself into my hoodie. Like, I'm like dying, not dying laughing. I'm like dying of discomfort. Like, I'm like, why are we doing this right now? And I'm like curling up into a fucking ball. And like, it's almost like my body's like collapsing into itself. And she fucking sang the song, and she didn't sing the whole thing or anything, it wasn't like a 4-minute performance, but it was like, first verse and like the first end of the chorus of the song. And then the classroom goes fucking nuts. Everyone's like congratulating her, and they're like hyping her up and shit. And I was like, I can't, like, I was very surprised I survived it. Like, I was very much like, I couldn't do this. There was a lot of moments like that in high school now that I think about it. I actually remember this one other time. Um, this kid fucking beat himself up pretty much. It was my junior year of high school because my friend who actually he passed away this last year. My friend Jose and we were in. This was right after physics class, and I'm pretty sure it was either me and like one or two other people in the classroom, but I think it may have been me actually. I think I was the only junior in the class because I was like a senior class, and I'm there with Jose, and there's this one other kid. I totally forgot his name. But me and Jose walk outside, and we're talking about like just like I think we were talking about like the UFC or something, and this kid comes up and he's like talking about how he does karate or he does some sort of martial art, and like he was talking about it in the classroom as well. This is how it came up, and so we're talking about like UFC, and then we're talking about like whatever, and he overhears and he starts talking about his karate, and he's like, oh, I can do like high kicks and whatever the fuck. And so he comes outside and he's like, yo, you guys want me to show you? And we're in the hallway. The hallway's kind of empty because it's lunchtime, because it's this was fourth period, and lunch is always after fourth period for us. And we're outside the classroom. Everyone's out of the hallway. He starts stretching. This kid starts fucking stretching. He takes his shoes off, and it's just me and Jose, like, awkwardly standing there waiting for him to show us his skills. And he starts, like, doing, like, this breathing thing. Like he's, like, just breathing heavy, like... And he's breathing right. And I'm like looking at Jose. Jose's looking at me, and we're both kind of like giving each other like these eyes of like, what the fuck is about to happen right now? And this kid starts throwing punches, but like, like that group karate kind of thing where everyone's kind of standing on like evenly spaced apart, and they're all doing the same moves at the same time. It's like choreographed, like training, and he's doing those sort of kicks and like those sort of punches. And then he wants to get creative and start doing like jumping kicks where he jumps and like swings his leg and like does like roundhouse type shit, like some Chuck Norris kicks. And this he took his shoes off, remember? And school has like the fucking best tile for like Heelys and skateboards and shit. Like, so he's slipping. Like he's got his socks on. No one's cleaned this floor. Like everything's fucking dusty and slippery. And he's got his socks on, and he's got like the loosest fucking jeans, which always stood out. Like they weren't. It was like his leg moved inside his jean, and then when his leg touched the inside of the jean is when the jean would move. Like that's how baggy they were. And so he does this kick, and he starts doing these roundhouse kicks, and he's like slipping. He slips and falls like 2 or 3 times, like doing the same kick. He's like, hold on, I can do it. Hold on. And he slips and falls, and like, you could tell he's hurting himself. And he's like kicking his own ass pretty much in front of us. And we're both like, okay, like, that's cool. Like, yeah. And then we start walking away. And like, as we walk away, he's like putting his shoes on. And I don't even remember where the teacher was. Like, because normally the teacher stands at the door, like as we leave and as we come in. So whatever, he may have seen him do that shit, but anyway, he like falls, and I'm just like cringing on the inside. Like it's the most uncomfortable feeling ever. And I just remember walking out of there with Jose, like just like, and we were both like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? Like we both knew we just witnessed the death of a person, like, because he definitely was embarrassed. And like, I'm glad we didn't laugh at him or do anything mean to him in that moment. Like, it was nice enough that we were even willing to fucking stand there and hear him out and look at him do his silly tricks. But like, it was so painful for me, like, just to witness that. Just moments like that. Oh, the amount of people I've seen sing in school that shouldn't be singing. Absolutely. Like, not that they shouldn't be singing, like, it's just like, it's not the time. And there were plenty of kids also that would bring their guitars to school and just play in the corner. Like, I don't know. It felt like an early 2000s kind of. Like, I don't know any other high schools were like this, but kids would bring their instruments and fucking. Oh, I could go on a rant about my school. Like, we had like during lunchtime, we would have DJs come out, and it's not like a paid DJ, but like the student body government class would come out with like a big DJ set and speakers, and they would do like almost like pep rally level performances with the DJ equipment and just play music for the school while we were all on the courtyard eating lunch. And this was like around the time that that Gangnam Style was huge, and the number of times they played that and the number of times that people actually performed and danced to that shit. And I don't mean like there was like 6 or 7 fucking weebs, standing around just fucking doing the Gangnam Style thing. I'm talking like the wide open space of the courtyard would be filled with kids. Fucking filled with, like, I'm not even kidding, like 60 to 70 fucking kids just doing the Gangnam Style all together in unison, which was actually at one point, it was kind of like, what the fuck? This is actually pretty impressive. But also, what the fuck? It's day 18 of this shit and you're still doing it. Like, this shit happened so frequently throughout all of high school. Like, it was not weird. It got to the point where it was normal for this shit to be going on out there. And like the Gangnam Style was definitely the one that would cause like a flash mob of people doing this shit. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But yeah, at the same time, you'd see kids with their guitars in the corner, like playing, like they're writing shit, man. Like they got their long hair, like, like fucking, what's that fucking band? That guy that shot himself. Those fucking kind of kids, the jean jacket, fucking military jacket kind of people. It was just a shit show. Like, everyone's a fucking artist over there. And that was a thing. There was one time that this one kid was singing Steven Tyler. He was singing Dream On by Aerosmith. And this was in my theater class, which it made sense because they were like, hey, go up there and you can either sing us a song or you can like they gave you an option. Like, they were like, oh, if you can't sing, you have to do like a monologue or something. And I guess I did a monologue. I probably did something out of Goodfellas or whatever. But this one kid started singing Dream On by Steven Tyler. But it wasn't a cover. Like, it was very much like, hey, I'm trying to be Steven Tyler right now. And he tried to sound like him, and it just didn't work. And the teacher was impressed. I don't know if she was impressed with his singing, but she was just impressed that he was trying, which, good for him. Like, this is the one thing. I give 100% credit to those that try, but I don't give credit to the situations in which they try. Like I said, if you're talented or if you're not, but you're trying, good for you. But just don't do that shit in weird places. Like, I don't know. I get so uncomfortable. Like I said earlier, like, if we're all just sitting in the living room and like your brother comes out with a guitar and he's like, hey guys, I wrote a song. Can I sing it to you? The moment he says that, I'm fucking walking out of there. Like, I'm out of there. I can't do it. And, like, he's just sitting around while he's strumming and everyone's kind of just like, it's almost like that scene in fucking Cheaper by the Dozen 2 where the rich family is like singing like Christian music, and they're all like bobbing their heads and like swinging back and forth all together. And then Steve Martin's family, they're just singing like these jingles and shit. And but yeah, like that warm around the fire family time, like dad strumming the guitar and the son singing, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna perform this at church. Like, ugh, that shit kills me. Just like what is that called? Like HG, not HGTV, like Hallmark Channel level performances. Hallmark level, like cringe. Like, ugh, I'm saying like so much. Like Scoob. Um, yeah, just painful moments in my life. Oh, let's see here. What are we? 45 minutes in. Let's go ahead and let's finish this one off with some Reddit questions. Let's take a look here. Let me pull this up. Alrighty, so here we are with the Reddit Would You Rathers. Alrighty, this first one. Would you rather get paid $100,000 every month or 1 penny on the first month and your pay doubles every month indefinitely? Well, you know what? I'll take the 100K per month just because I don't want to wait. And it's not worth the wait. I could use the money right now. So let's do the 100K per month. Although most people are going to choose the other one, but it's like, how rich do you have to be? Okay. Let's see here. Next question. Would you rather die now instantly and painless, live for your natural lifespan, age at a slower rate, or be immortal? Okay, live for however long you are still going to live, age twice as slowly, age 5 times as slowly, age 10 times as slowly, become incapable of dying ever. I'm gonna go with age 10 times slower. And that's actually the most popular one. Nice. Would you rather come first in a game of 10 players or come second in a game of 50 players? First in a game of 10 players. It's definitely a better way. Would you rather work a job you hate for $50 an hour or a job you tolerate for $25 an hour, or a job you love for $10 an hour? Jesus. This is hard. The $10 an hour, you can't live off of that. I'll do the tolerate for 25. That's the winner. Would you rather have flying or invisibility power? Invisibility. I'd rather be invisible. Nice. Going for the winners out here, guys. Would you rather walk a mile in wet socks or walk a mile barefoot? Jesus. Wet socks. Do you know how much better? Oh, that actually won't feel too bad after a while, especially out here in Florida. Just imagine like walking out on the roads here. They get so damn hot. It gets so damn hot here to where you're like, after it rains, there's steam coming out of the ground and everything's just 10 times more humid. Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, barefoot, you're going to end up with no feet after that. Let's see. Would you rather every time you were right about something, you got a splitting headache, or every time you got something wrong? Every time you were right about something, you got a headache, or every time you were wrong about something, you got a nosebleed? Oh, I get enough nosebleeds as it is. But a headache is terrible. I'll go with the nosebleeds. That's what I'm going for. Oh my God, just imagine. Start bleeding everywhere. All the religious people start bleeding. You're gonna go to hell. Blood just spewing out of their faces. damn, you would get so many nosebleeds. You know how often people are wrong about things, like just normally, like, oh, DiCaprio was wearing a red shirt in that movie, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. And then it's like both of your noses are just bleeding, and it's like, actually, no, I guess we're wrong. Like, what the fuck? Like, out of the simplest shit. How many cookies are in there? 7. Nope, need nosebleed. It's cold in here. No, it isn't. Nosebleed. Would you rather be given $10,000 for free or have a 1 in 2 chance of winning $1 million? Jesus. I'll take the free 10,000. Chances are I won't get that million, to be honest. Pick one to donate your entire life savings to. Team Trees, St. Jude, or Black Lives Matter. Well, with Black Lives Matter and St. Jude, well, with any of these, honestly, you don't know what it's going towards. But what would save the most lives would probably be Team Trees. I'm thinking big picture here. Let's go with Team Trees. Oh, looks like the Children's Hospital's winning. Yeah, I don't trust the Children's Hospital one just because, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Diseases are I have no idea. People are going to give me shit now. They're like, oh, you care more about trees than children. Would you rather watch which one of these cartoons? Family Guy, Simpsons, Rick and Morty, Futurama, Bob's Burgers, or Archer? How about Bob's Burgers? Because all the other ones are kind of lame now. So, yeah. Would you rather all your floors sticky or extremely slippery? Oh, God. Sticky just gives me a nasty feeling, so I'd rather it be slippery. Okay. Let's see. Would you rather have $10 billion US or a dragon? Let's go for the fucking money. Who the hell needs a dragon? Like, what? Okay. Let's take a look at ass credit. Let's see. We'll close some of these off. Oh, what's the best joke you know? Let's read some of these. A Buddhist man walks to a hot dog vendor and says, "Make me one with everything." Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Ugh, that hurt. Stalin is sitting at his desk busy with paperwork when his assistant bursts into the room and says, "Comrade Stalin, there's a clairvoyant here that wants to see you. He claims he can see the future." "Send him to the gulag," says Stalin. "If he could see the future, he wouldn't have come here." That's funny. I like that one. I mixed up the words jacuzzi and yakuza, and now I'm in hot water with the Japanese mafia. I don't fucking get it. Nope. What did the sign on the door of the brothel say? "Beat it, we're closed." I like that one. A man goes to a funeral. He asks the widow if he could say a word. He goes to the front and says, "Plethora," and sits back down. The widow leans over and whispers, "Thanks, that means a lot." What the fuck? "Dad, the trash man's here. Tell him we don't need any." Oh my God. That one was painful. Two guys are walking down the street when they see a dog licking his balls. One guy says, "I wish I could do that." The other reply says, "Well, maybe just try petting him first." Oh my God. There's something wrong with people. What's the difference between a slob on a bicycle? Why did I go unicycle? Like, did it have to be a unicycle? What's the difference between a slob on a bicycle and a well-dressed individual on a unicycle? A tire. Christ. These are the worst. Not mine, but I think it belongs to, okay. Doctor, will I be okay? I don't know. Mercury is in Uranus right now. I don't do astronomy, doc. Me neither. My thermometer just broke. What? Do they even still do that? I don't even think I think they haven't stuck a thermometer up someone's ass since like the 40s. Doc, you gotta help me. I can't stop singing. What's New Pussycat? That sounds like Tom Jones syndrome. Is it common? It's not unusual. Jesus Christ. Okay, I think I'm done with the joke one. Okay. All right. Last set of questions here. What is your I don't get paid enough for this shit moment? Let's look at the top answer. Plumber. Owner of a mobile home called and said they had a stinky yard. I could smell it when I pulled up. The mobile home was new and had only been set up for about 8 months. While setting it up, someone didn't tighten a no-hub band to the toilet in the kids' bathroom. 8 months of flush toilet was all over the ground, under the home, and had just started being noticed outside. I told the homeowner to call the guys that set it up to come fix it. I wasn't crawling under there. What a shit show. Literally, I worked at Circuit City when I was 17. Heard a noise of packaging being opened in the movie section. Found a guy crouched down opening DVD boxes and stealing the discs. He looked at me, held his knife out and said, "Got a problem?" I just replied, "I don't get paid enough for this shit," and backed off. I went to the back room of the warehouse area to call a manager and tell him what happened. Never could get a hold of anyone, so I just chilled in the warehouse area for a half hour. That's why they went out of business, people. You got people in the back room fucking stealing DVDs. That's hilarious. You're just looking up like, you got a fucking problem? I got a knife. Oh my God. When I was doing 90% of my boss's job in hopes of a full-time promotion that I had been promised for 3 years, he took all the credit and told me my promotion wasn't in the budget. Yeah, that's what you get for working for them. Jesus. Okay. This one's really long. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. Last one, guys, I promise. I'm a public librarian. I got glasses and everything. I was helping someone in the computer room and turned to tell someone he needed to keep his exclamations at the video he was watching down. Just then, the woman I was helping leapt aside because the man I was shushing pissed himself. It ran down the jacket he had tied around his waist, down the chair, onto the ground. Turns out he snuck in alcohol and was totally blackout drunk. Jesus. I told him he had to leave. He put the piss-covered jacket on, stumbled out. As I returned with gloves, cleaning supplies, another patron decided this was a good time to complain about some kids who were making noise. I took a deep breath and said, this is a good time for us to all appeal to our higher selves and do the best in the moment. Please just adapt for a minute. Then I thought about the student loans I took out for the master's degree as I scrubbed up piss. Jesus Christ. That's sad. There you have it, people. Don't go to fucking college if you're just going to end up cleaning piss at a library. How do you even get in that job? Like, you just like guarding shit? There doesn't need to be a librarian. You know? Well, what's going to happen? People are going to steal the books. The only thing keeping people from stealing the books is getting a library card. A library card? Why did I say it like that? From getting a library card. Because you don't got to come back with the book. Might as well just have it be the trust system. Get rid of that damn job. Oh, anyway. Thank you guys for listening. We're reaching the hour here. Just wanted to talk a little shit. Give you guys an update. I will say this. I've been slacking, like I mentioned in the last podcast. I've definitely been slacking, but with this new job giving me, a little bit more stability, I'm getting get paid more, thank God. And definitely a lot more podcasts coming. I'm gonna, be coming out with, hopefully some skits and shit, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys next time. And don't end up in the library cleaning piss. See you later.